Last year, August, I turned down 625,000 USD from someone. You really need to learn people you're getting in business with. My mom had just finished class 8, then my mom got pregnant. And then that was me. The fact that I had missed a lot, so I sort of became a dumb kid. By the time I was leaving that school, I was the best student in KCPE in that school. My dad doing all this engineering stuff, building companies until they're standing tall. I'm like, hey, I want to be this person.
Yes, what is it about Luo, man?
My whole business journey has been a learning process. Hapo kwa copyrights and stuff, nilioshwa. We end up spending half the money and then demolition happens in Mukuru.
I didn't see that coming. Maybe it's an African thing also that women are just expected to kind of shut down their dreams.
How do people feel after using your product? How do people feel after using your services? And when a workspace is not mentally stable for you, work on a quit plan.
When did you realize there was like a shift of mindsets between you and your co-founders?
Because I remember being very depressed of the whole situation. A fake document ends up being produced, and this fake documents leads to what? Legal issues that are very endless.
How has your motherhood journey been?
You can't have like work-life balance. Mimi, that one I forgot that I can have ever.
At times, business separation is caused by a lot of money triggers. Money is usually, even in relationships.
I was to experience an apocalypse today. Their business is shut. But Chargebyte, we will be standing tall and running.
Wow. Welcome to Be That Woman, yet another episode where we explore the journeys, pivots, and purpose behind women who are building impact across industries. My name is Joy Mido, and thank you so much to all of you who have subscribed. And remember, if you've not subscribed, tafadhali, give us that subscription. We need it to grow our community. So thank you for all the love on the previous episode as well. We are grateful that you are here back again. So before I introduce our powerful guest today, our episode is sponsored proudly by Tusker Cider. Tusker Cider is a locally produced cider in Kenya and East Africa, and it is rich, crisp, flavored, fruity. So grab it, buckle up, and get ready for a powerful, impactful conversation that is about to come. So allow me to introduce my guest today, and you may want to listen keenly to this because, wow, this lady is amazing. So she is a multi-award winning founder. She's a creator, a woman boldly navigating the intersections of art, technology, community, and impact. She is now the CEO and founder of Chargebyte, and also the mind behind Task Concepts and Task Foundation. And she's also a recognized female leader in STEM. Yeah, Luyah, a woman in STEM, and a creative innovator. So today we're not talking only about that. We are getting to know navigating business turmoils for a woman, especially a woman in STEM and technology. So join me in welcoming the phenomenal Quinter Ochieng, also known as Chika.
Yay, drum rolls.
Insert screams. Welcome to Be That Woman.
Thank you, Joy. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. I think I'm the one who needs to be extending my thank yous because you are doing amazing. Beyond.
We try our best.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You guys are about to find out why I am having all these accolades for her. There is so much you've accomplished at such a young age.
Yeah.
And as you guys can see, we have a lot of awards. Not even a lot. Guys, all these awards are still sitting in her office, in her house.
Yeah.
Ushago pia ziko.
Ushago pana. Ushago pana.
So list them for us.
So oh my God.
Where do we start?
So it started off with FOIA, Founders of the Year 2019. Then we went to Impact of the Year, Impact Organization of the Year from UN Women with the Female Founders Africa. Then we have Africa 40 Under 40. Then we have this one, Pan Africa Top 100. Then we have Aurora Tech, Women in Tech 100. Wow. Then we have, I think, Crest Africa. Oh my God, there's so
What?
many. Honestly, there's so many. And this particular year,
Things are cooking.
things are cooking. Things are cooking.
But Chika, I'm so excited to have you and Be That Woman.
Thank you.
Why did you decide to come to the podcast?
I've always thought to myself that it's good to just share your journey.
Yeah.
They always say you might be speaking to like over 1,000 people, but there's just that one particular person that your story will influence, will change their life, will change their thinking, will change the setting of their mind. And that's why I decided, let me do this. Let's see how it's about. And I've also always loved the stories of the women who've been here before because I follow you a lot and I've seen your journey. And yeah, so that's why I'm here. I mean, we are all women building stuff. So let's just support ourselves as we build our own ecosystem.
Oh, thank you so much. Very well articulated. Women supporting women, right?
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, and we'd love to see all the amazing things you are doing. So probably our guests know you by now. I mean, you are leading. Technology right now is king. So everything is revolving around the tech space. So we want to unpack that and unpack your journey as a woman in business, especially, and doing this big thing. So, all right. So let's just start lightly.
Yeah.
Where did Chika come from? How did you get about that nickname?
The nickname,
Is it a nickname?
Chika. Yeah, it's actually my nickname. Funny enough, it's my mother who gave it to me. So I come from Bondo, somewhere in Sakwa. So that's where most of my life I was raised. Even though like my childhood, a lot of it was unstable. Like it was from different families, from one grandma to another up until class 3 there. That's when I had like a stable home where now my mom and my stepdad, who I know as my dad, settled down in Bondo. And my dad was from Bondo. And then, so my mom was doing the business of fishing. Like we used to have boats. So we'd have boat for fish and then another boat for omena. And then my dad was just trying to get his foot on being a contractor. So that's how I was. So while living in Bondo, my mom had friends. I don't know how she ended up having Nigerian friends who were buying stuff from her. And then, yeah, so one of them ended up naming me Chika. So the guy, it was a guy actually. It was like I was a young girl, and the way in the African setup, people always give name the people they think they want to come back for and marry someday and stuff like that. So I tell this guy, give me a beautiful name, but don't give me the context of wanting to marry me or something like that, because I am of my own. I want to be like my mother, who is independent and always in business stuff. So then he changed it from, I don't remember the other name, but he changed it from that name and then gave me Chika instead.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so then I become older. When I was winning an award and I was in Nigeria, someone tells me that actually when you're Chika, Chika is in Spanish is a girl, I think a beautiful girl. And then Chika in Nigeria is a name. So I have a friend who would call me Ajia, and he would call himself Alaji. So this is like my friend. We were on the red carpet together, and we were just making fun. So he asked me, how did we come to be named Chika? And I gave him my background, telling him, it's my mom. It was given to me by my mom's friend. And my mom insisted I'm going to keep that nickname to date. So it started off when I was in class 3.
Oh, wow, that's such a beautiful story. How do you remember? Your mom told you?
My mom told me. My mom tells me every time. Because even my mom calls me Chika, or the whole family calls me Chika. My siblings call me Chika. My mom would rather call me Chika, my daughter, than like my official name, Quinter, my daughter, or something like that.
Yeah, and it completely stuck.
Completely stuck.
So your friends, everyone calls you Chika.
Mostly,
people.
like if you know me, specific people. So a lot of people that know me in the business world call me Ochieng Quinter, but the people that know me to sort of a personal level, they know me as Chika.
Yeah.
And maybe those that have interacted with my digital platforms, then they call me Chika.
Oh, amazing. So we'll stick with Chika Basi.
Yeah, we can stick with Chika for the purpose of this conversation.
Yeah. I'm surprised. We have Nigerians in Bondo as well.
Yeah, those people, the thing in Bondo, there's a lot of businesses happening there. There's gold mining.
Oh, wow.
Yes, like legit clean gold mining. There's a time my father had sort of just decided, let's try this thing and see what happens. Then there was like a whole, you'd go into someone's house, there's like a jug,
No way.
a plastic jug carrying gold, literally gold.
Yeah.
And we were kids at the time. We were just excited to see how they're going to change that, come back home with money. Yeah, it's real business over there. Like there's a lot going on. I think Chinese are already there right now.
Oh my, I wanted to say we are sleeping on it. Kumbe washafika.
They don't sleep on opportunities, those guys. So yeah, they're already down there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that is good to know. I don't think I knew that.
You didn't know that Bondo there's gold mining?
No.
Really?
I'm
There's a lot
thinking-
of. I think there's even a lot of people. There's been a lot of cases of people dying underground because they use the old model of mining, like digging deep, people going down and then blasting those things. So that was like a common sound in our village.
What?
Yeah, you just and then the house would shake and you're like, what?
What is happening?
Yeah, but you get used to it. So it's part of that community life. And so we got used to it. Yeah.
I'm so embarrassed I'm a shemeji and I don't know these things. Like, niko tu hapo.
Uko tu hapo.
1 hour.
Yeah, there's plenty of money in Bondo.
So you grew up in Bondo.
Yes, yeah, most of
your life?
Most of my life, yeah.
So can you speak Luo fluently?
Fluently,
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Even though my mom says when I'm speaking Luo, I'm speaking it like
With an accent?
there's an accent. I'm
Can
speaking
I
it like
be?
it's an English Luo thing, kind of
Yeah.
like yeah. But I can fluently speak Kijaluo.
Oh,
I can also
nice.
listen.
Amazing. Able to make it to basi?
Kitu. Kitu ni Gimoro, something like
Gimoro.
that. Yeah, Gimoro is Kitu.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
I have dated some Luo men in my life.
Oh, how did that
Anyway, clearly it didn't go. It didn't go.
It did
Anyway.
go well. Luos.
Yeah.
Luo men are, they're just Luo men.
Why do they say fear Luo men?
I don't know. I would also like to be like in a Luo man's position and just try to
and
understand.
see the world
and
from
just
that.
really like get why. Because I've had like my personal experience about it. Like my mom and my dad right now are not together anymore. So it's like, I really don't know. But I think they're also, what I know is the Kikuyu men. I don't want to say they are good men. Also, like, it's not like I don't know them like that much, especially in the dating world, due to personal reasons. So what I know is that Kikuyu men, they're good at, I know I have a family. I know I have to take care of my family, even if something is happening out of the marriage. But Luos tend to really forget that.
They'll be like, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, they forget their homes, they forget they have people to be responsible for. And if I'm wrong, Luo men can correct me in the comment section or
Please
something like
do
that.
not come for us. We come in
They
peace.
can, and this I'm speaking from an experience of being
Your
a child of a
personal
Luo man.
Exactly.
Yes. So maybe people have different experiences. Maybe I still have trauma I haven't addressed. But a lot of my friends, especially in the Luo setup, that has been, I don't
Their
know.
story.
Yeah, and then ladies also in the city, they always complain about Luo men, this, Luo men, that. So I don't know, but I think Luo women love better. I think so. I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Hey, you guys tell us, what is it about Luo men? Eh?
They should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's dive right into it. So you talked about your childhood growing up.
Yeah.
What did you always want to do when you were growing up? Or who did you want to be? You know, when you grow up, you're like, I want to be a doctor. I want to be what?
Now, I remember when I was a child, I always wanted to work in the marine.
Ah, because of your father.
Because of my dad. That was when I was a child. So, unfortunately, when I was growing up, so the fact that I grew up in different families as a kid, as a baby, I think, growing up until class 3, I grew up in like different homes. So my biological dad died when I was very young. Very, very young. My mom had just finished class 8. I was a child of a child. My mom had just finished class 8, then my mom got pregnant. And then that was me. And then my mom was supposed to be married to my dad, but my grandma at the time was slightly getting into politics with the Moi era. So my grandma was not happy with my mom's decision. So my mom had to sort of run away from home. And when my mom ran away from home, my mom got married to my dad. Then my dad used to be the driver of Nyaugenya bus. I don't know if you had those days.
We know them.
So Nyaugenya bus, then my dad had got into a very, very bad accident. And that's how this problem started for us, for me and my sister. And then we ended up now jumping from one family to another, because then my mom was young, so she couldn't keep up. And she had to leave my sister with my stepmom's family. And then me now was just jumping from one family to another. So getting into class 3, I missed a lot in school as a kid. getting into class 3 when now my mom met my stepdad, who I know as my dad to date, life started changing. I started knowing the meaning of school. I started now having a stable life in school. And then the fact that I had missed a lot, so I sort of became a dumb kid, I would say. So I was like a dumb kid up until class 6. So when I get into class 6, this one particular teacher, and by the way, let's respect teachers.
Yeah.
So this one particular teacher, I think he was from somewhat a very good school. So he spots me and he just comes to me and tells me, I think you are a student of so much potential. You just don't know yet.
Imagine you remember that.
Yes, you just don't know yet. And this is a teacher, I will never forget his name. His name was Mr. Okeo. And he tells me, you just don't know your potential yet. But I'm going to pray for you and I'm going to make it my mission to make sure that you know your potential.
Wow.
And Joyous, by the time I was leaving that school, I was the best student in KCPE in that school. And my fellow students who are now, the ones that know me now as an adult, they know this story because I was
They
like
never saw
bottom
it
something
coming.
in class 6. I was bottom something. Then now when I'm leaving, it just started going up the ladder.
Yeah, just
I
because
felt
someone
it too.
spoke
just
life
because
into
someone
you.
spoke life into me.
Yeah.
And from that moment, I've always believed in the fact that here, the setting of here can always be changed anytime.
Wow.
Someone always says that your mindset is just a spotlight. You just decide where what you want it to sort of spotlight or something like that, highlight in your life. And so, that was like a changing moment for me with that teacher.
That is so powerful.
That was very powerful. I've always remembered his name. My mom knows how much. I've gone to the village twice looking for him. Every time I go, he's gotten a transfer, but I'm still on my mission to find him. And
Mr.
the
Okeo,
day I'll find him, I'll
reveal
actually
yourself.
share with everyone.
Yeah, that is so powerful because I feel like teachers have such a huge role in shaping the people we become.
Absolutely.
Because we spend so much time with teachers more than even our parents sometimes.
We do. And it's also because I was also willing to put in that work. So sometimes teachers see the potential in us and we are the ones that fail ourselves. So I think that teacher spoke life into me and I tested a bit of it because I remember when I tested a bit of it, that was in class 7 where I achieved something that they used to say nobody had ever achieved. You remember those days we used to do insha and composition and stuff like that, and then we would do it like at district mock level and stuff like that. It's not like I knew Swahili more than anyone, and we were like doing, they call it district mock, and then they used to mark mark it outside of the school. Yeah. So the results come back and I'm like 40 out of 40. Who gets that?
You're like, that has never happened even to me.
Exactly. I'm like, the teacher's like, Quinter, come here. Then we had the conversation. I'm like, so this can really happen to me.
Wow.
And I just started climbing the ladder, and by the time I was leaving that school, nobody believed it by then. Nobody. In fact, even my village didn't believe it. I was like, I think the whole district, I was in the top 10. I can't remember the exact one, but the whole district. And then I got a call. I got myself into a national school, Nakuru Girls High School.
Oh.
Yes. And while in Nakuru Girls High School, Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, the things of high school started happening. And I felt like, that happened. I went then to Seata High School. While at Seata High School, that's when my dad told me he needed me. Seata now, this is Uganda. Because at this time, my dad has been transferred to Uganda to build. He's now a contractor, full-time contractor. He's building factories and stuff like that. Wow. Yeah, in Lugazi and stuff like that. So we are able to now afford Nakuru Girls High School. Right. We are able to now afford things, In fact, in our village, we used to be the only ones at the time that had a TV.
What?
And I remember, so I was always a business-minded person.
Yeah.
So I remember, I remember calling my dad and telling my dad, there's this Nigerian film, I want to go and showcase it in school, but I'm going to charge kids 30 shillings to access the place we were showing the movie. So that's how I really started business at a young age. Yeah. Then we used to have punda, so donkeys. We'd go and fetch water with the donkeys. So I couldn't do that. I used to hate heavy work. We used to fight with my mom every time. I used to hate farming. I used to hate, anything we're doing with my hands, No.
Yeah.
But like in terms of controlling, like not controlling in a bad way,
organizer.
like organize. Guys, let's get the donkeys. Let's not charge people from the town 50 bob per jerrycan. Let's charge them 100 shillings,
Wow.
50 shillings. That difference is now mine. They take the 50. And they're the ones that are doing the job. So I make sure I get the right people that are willing to pay for 100 shillings. And so I think those sort of
At
experiences.
what age was that?
This is like after class 8. I'm like around class 7, class 8. I'm already doing this, which is late for many people because people start doing it early. I think so.
Wow.
Anyway, so I go to high school and so my dad then, I see my dad doing all this engineering stuff, building companies until they're standing tall. I'm like, hey, I want to be this person.
He's very smart.
Yeah, he's very smart. I want to be this person one day. So I changed. At this particular point, I changed from wanting to be a Marine to now wanting to be my dad. But I don't know what it takes to be my dad. So that's when now my dad, I passed actually. For my Form 4 exams, I passed. And I didn't expect to pass. Because I'm in Uganda to complete my O-level school. And what happens is I've always been a leader in every school I'm in. So I get to Sayeta High School and I find people are campaigning for people to be like, I think people are choosing presidents of O-level and A-level. And then I only have 1 month to campaign because I arrive in the school in March. By April, I'm the president.
What?
I'm the president
How did
of the
you get
O-level.
there?
You just campaign. You just have to... You put time in
You
campaign.
had charisma.
I think so. I did. So I become the president of the O-level. Well, at this school, I'm not really, like, it's not, I'm feeling like the people I've left in Kenya will be ahead of me. Because my dad then insists, you know what, if you're studying in Uganda, you have to do A-level. And I'm like, by that, I'm doing the math, it's not math thing. I'm like, from 3, Form 4, Form 5, and Form 6. These guys will be way ahead of me.
Right.
So I just sneak in. My mom comes to visit me in Uganda and tell my mom, you just have to find a way to convince my dad. We go back with you. Then I come back to Kenya. Then I join another high school again. So I was a little stubborn, honestly, in high school. I was very stubborn. I was a leader, but stubborn leader. I always wanted things to be done a different way, not just to stick by the book, experiment things. Let's do things differently.
Yeah.
And that somehow sometimes got me in trouble. And while I was again leaving the Kenyan high school, I left again as the best kid, the best girl in that school.
Oh, goodness.
Yes, and I had yet missed a whole year of Kenyan system. And yet, that I would tell you, to be honest, is here. Because I would just like go to exam rooms. I'm like, I think I've studied enough. I won't overdo it. Let's just go and do it and get it done with. And I would just approach it with that mentality and be like, I'm going to pass. I'm going to make sure I pass. And so I come back, I get 2 callings, that is at KU University to do static engineering. But I'm like, what is static engineering? I want to build stuff like my dad.
Yeah.
And then I request him, I just ask him, I want to go to University of Nairobi, because at the time I think University of Nairobi was like a big deal in my village and these things that we do for villagers.
University of Nairobi.
So I get myself at the University of Nairobi studying geospatial engineering. So the rest is just... While at the same school, because I remember now how Impact started, because I know you're going to ask me that question.
Yeah,
how did Impact started? While I was in primary school, remember I was in a village primary school. In a village primary school, you don't get chances like there's someone coming to speak to you, there's a speaker coming to show you things, the way how life works outside there. There's lack of all these opportunities. So I get called to Nakuru Girls and I'm asking myself, while at Nakuru Girls, we're seeing all these visitors coming over the weekend, the teachers who can teach you about life, the people who can teach you about...
Things are different.
Like there's a whole spectrum of lessons that you don't have to stick by books. I'm like, I think this needs to be happening in my village. I think we need to be taking people who are experiencing life, uko juu, life coach, all those career coach people. I need to find a way to hire them and bring them to my village. To Bondo so that they speak to young girls. Because at the time, I remember my village was really struggling with early girls' marriages, like girls with very good potential not making it to high school and getting married or getting pregnant and their life just, So that's when we realized, kumbe, there's even life after you've had a baby. You can still change your whole life story and become someone else. And so I think that is how impact started for me, honestly. That was the moment where I was like, I think I'm gonna be I'm gonna be building things that are changing people's lives. And because I didn't have the capacity to do that at the time, when I got to the university, I applied for help. It's because my dad was paying my school fees, so I took my help. No, the help was usually went direct to school. So my school fees instead that my dad would send me, I took that one. Then I said, people need to be aware about what is happening in Bondo. Fishermen are marrying the school girls, and I knew the reality of the girls down there. And I was like, I'm gonna do a documentary called Growth of an African Child.
Wow.
At the time. And I'm in Campo year 1.
You were thinking far and wide, girl.
So
did you do it?
Yeah, we get to the village and I have this group of videographers. People have never seen people with so many dreadlocks, so many tattoos. So I'm getting all these people. We are in the village and we are doing our stuff. And yeah, honestly, that's how it started. So we started, even though like at the time I wasn't a good business person. So of course the people I was doing videography with, they knew how to move their documentation and stuff. So hapo kwa copyrights and stuff, nilioshwa. Yeah, because I didn't know at the time. I wasn't a businesswoman, so I was just excited about doing the documentary, and I would just sit down and watch it happen. The fishing, a girl, the story of going to the lake, going to the gold mines, the reality down there. I swear that was the best feeling at that time.
Yeah, there is a feeling of satisfaction that came out of it.
Yeah, so I think that's how I started off with community projects.
So this is right after campus that you decided I need to go back to my village and create an impact.
This is in campus. I'm doing this while in campus, actually. I'm doing this while in... I founded Tusk while in campus. Tusk was all about talent, art, creativity to change. It was all about how to use art to change narratives. Use art to change narratives of the girls in the villages. Use art to change narratives of... Use art to teach people, to inform. That was the whole goal of why I started Tusk. Dancing, art, visual, all that. Poetry and all that.
To change lives,
to change lives, yeah.
Now, before we get to your new baby, Chargebyte, guys, probably you can see, I want to talk about, and even before we get to Tusk, I want to talk about the woman you are today, because there is so much you've accomplished at such a young age.
Yeah.
And as you guys can see, we have a lot of awards. Not even a lot. Guys, all these awards are still sitting in her office, in her house.
Yeah.
Ushago pia ziko.
Ushago pana. Ushago pana. Yeah.
But you've accomplished so much. Has this stemmed from you wanting just to do a lot of impact to the society? And also now, as you're speaking into that, talk to us about the awards that you have been awarded with.
Yeah. I think the awards are just a reminder of what you're doing. Like, just keep up with the work you're doing in the communities, keep changing lives. I think they're just a reminder. They're just a source of motivation. Keep doing what you're doing. You're in the right path. They're mostly serve as reminders, like that one at the end that says Impact Organization by the UN Women. This one here. This one was awarded to us in 2023, and this was under Tusk, actually. Impact of the Year, I think. This one got me in a very tough place. And if you can remember, right after COVID, 2023 was right after COVID. So we made so much money during COVID.
Yeah.
With art that we had never made so much money like that. The whole time I was building Tusk, campus, out of campus, we'd never made money like that. And this in Ituaje.
Sorry to take you back. When did you found Tusk?
This was 2017.
2017, okay.
2017, 18, yeah. Because I remember registering it in 2018. Yeah. So Tusk, we never made good money, by the way. We were just like doing, the way you just impact people, you just want to invest in people and stuff like that. So I get this call. So we're doing mural. I remember we were doing mural arts to educate people using measures of COVID-19. And we got that contract with the EU. And that was a lot of money, because that one we had signed with to do that project with a lot of creatives, different creatives. That's when I realized,
there's opportunity.
There's like art can make money. And at that time, right before that time, I remember I was supposed to do a project in Mukuru, Kwanjenga. I've always been interested. So I remember I wanted to do a project like mine in my village. Now, the reason why I didn't do it in my village at the time was because of a particular pastor. So My pastor,
Pastor.
my pastor, I wanted to reach through the church or the school.
Okay.
And you know, when you're in the village, those two entities work together. The church and the school usually work together. So I go to my village and I pitch to them and tell them, this is what I want to do. I want to be having coaches coming here, teaching people about using of art, how can change people's life.
Right.
And then the main pastor receives this so well. But there's this particular teacher stroke pastor, woman to be specific.
Oh, no.
Yes. For some reasons, she finds all the ways possible to make sure that everyone votes against me and that I'm not able to do this project down there. Just because I'm walking around with people who have dreadlocks, people who have tattoos, and my style.
This perception.
This perception of how I'm supposed to be, what kind of student I'm supposed to be in the village.
How you're supposed to look.
How I'm supposed to look, those kind of things. So I came back to Nairobi and said, okay, fine. You've denied me that opportunity, but that doesn't mean I'm now stopping my mission. I will, if I don't have to change, you know the way they always say, there's a saying they say, someone ufukuzwa kwao, kitu kama hiyo. I don't know how to say it, but the saying that kind of says when someone is doing good to their community, occasionally it's high, the chances are high their community will chase them away. I don't know the quote exactly, but someone can share with us. So I came back to Nairobi and that's how I ended up building the project in Mukuru. So while in Mukuru, I get this investor and I share with him my dream. My dream has always been to own a school. Have you watched Step Up?
Yes, the dance.
The dance, the creativity, the production. You know, that end of having a space that has end to end, but also just making sure that you're working with vulnerable communities, not like. So that was the goal. So I pitched this whole thing to two investors. These two investors were a couple. I pitched to them, they like the idea, and they say, you know what, Quinter, we're going to invest in you so that you build this school because you seem like you
So
really
it was
want
like
it.
a dance school?
It was supposed to be a dance, creativity, art school that was just supposed to take all the ghetto kids away from all their problems and stuff. So I had been supporting this school for a while. From like food for the whole term with just the small things, hustle we'll do here and there and make some money. We were supporting them with the hope that one day we will get the right person who will bring the right resources. And we eventually did. So when we get these resources, which has been something I think the whole documentary is actually on Task's YouTube channel.
Right.
So this is happening in 2020. Is it? I think this is in 2020, right before this award, because this award got me in a very bad place. I can remember that.
Oh, wow.
So I get this investor. We take fundis down there. The fundis look at the place. We say we can't build a story house here. But I didn't realize Mabati houses are also expensive. I didn't know this.
Right.
So we say we're going to build a very strong foundation because if you've been to Mukuru, you know they suffer a lot from flooding. Yeah, like anytime it rains there, you can't really walk. So we raised 6 class, 3 this side, kitchen, and there was no toilet, so we're going to build a permanent toilet, all those kind of things. The structure is presented to us, the budget selects like 1.5 million. Small money, but good money. And so this is just right after 2020. Yes, 2019, I think 2020. We get this deal, we start building the school, Joy, and we finish the first 3 schools. We install legit, like this legit windows, doors, everything on the because we were like, we want to build the first 3, then we let the kids move so that we continue, because it was going to be like a self-secured institution.
Okay.
Joy, we do all this, we end up spending half the money, and then demolition happens in Mukuru.
I didn't see that coming. Oh, no.
Yes, demolition happens in Mukuru. And this is worse because I did my due diligence. Before building, I went and sat down with the whole community. I requested for the community leaders to come and sit. I requested for the map of the place. In fact, they call them who? Those land people, they came and told us that if there's demolition, it will not go beyond this water point. The surveyors. We paid everyone that was supposed to be paid for the purpose of approvals. Demolition happened. Joy, I was destroyed. I was that at that particular moment, I honestly lost hope in building for
this was
impact.
your vision. You really wanted it
I lost hope in building for impact, and then this award came, and then it just reminded me.
So this award was mainly from that Mukuru Kwanjanga
Mukuru project, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And the project we're also doing with the creatives, the art people, with the murals and stuff. And also the series that we did using art to educate people about measures of COVID-19. So we did a series of murals across Nairobi. Yes.
Yeah.
And so...
What happened to the children after that?
The whole of a big space in Mukuru was demolished at the time, and I think the case is still. They say the case is still with the EAC, if I'm not wrong.
Wow!
And they're supposed to be compensated, but to be honest, from that moment, we even went back with some friends of mine to just give back support where we could, but the fire was dimmed.
Yeah,
for some
I can
reason.
imagine.
So I said to myself, I'm gonna figure out how I can join the system, probably join somewhere, just be part of the decision-making system where the policies are being made, so that by the time I'm coming back to build impact in communities, I'm well informed. At the time I was still young. So I feel like my whole business journey has been a learning process.
A learning curve, right?
A learning experience every new other day. So yeah,
right.
So that's what I'm saying. All the awards are just a reminder.
Yeah, a reminder of the impact. So list them for us.
So oh my God.
When did we start?
So it started off with FOIA, Founders of the Year 2019. Then we went to Impact of the Year, Impact Organization of the Year from UN Women with the Female Founders Africa. Then we have Africa 40 Under 40. Then we have this one, Pan Africa Top 100. Then we have Aurora Tech, Women in Tech 100. Wow. Then we have, I think, Crest Africa. Oh my God, there's so many. Honestly, there's so many. And this particular year,
things are cooking.
I will be actually at the Mobile World Conference because of the solution we are building this year.
And where is that happening?
Mobile World Conference is happening in Spain, in Barcelona. And this is just like one of the biggest events in the mobile industry. I'm talking about digital connectivity and accessibility across Africa. So yeah.
Oh wow, congratulations. We love to see it.
Thank you, Joy. Thank you.
You are doing amazing, especially as a woman founder. Having all these awards again is a reminder of all the great work that you're doing.
Thank you, Joy. I think there are like a total of, if I'm not wrong, 11.
Oh my
11,
goodness.
There's so many.
Congratulations.
There's some I get called to and I can't even travel to that country. Yeah. Like this year I think I told you I was supposed to be in Ghana. I cancelled Ghana.
Yeah.
I missed my flight actually. I didn't cancel Ghana. I missed my flight. And I couldn't reschedule. Yeah. And I was also having a big meeting the next day. So I just felt like the universe was trying to tell me something. Stick around for something. So I stuck around for the meeting instead.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is just a reminder that if you go for what you want, what you're passionate about, and just actually, I feel like that having a purpose of waking up every single day is what makes life meaningful. You know?
It is. Yeah. Honestly, it is. It is waking up to do something that lights up a fire inside you.
Yes.
It's very fulfilling.
It's so important.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you guys for those who are still sticking around, because we are about to unpack. It's not always rosy. You can see the medals sitting there, everything.
Yeah.
She's building businesses, but I want us to unpack like what that journey is, because they say entrepreneurship is not the easiest. You will go crazy.
You would.
And if you're still watching, remember you can grab your Tusker cider from A.k.a. the bar. And thank you, Tusker cider, for just empowering these bold conversations with powerful women. All right. So I just want to get into something, how society just puts women in a box. Society likes telling women we must choose between our career or our family. Like maybe it's an African thing also, that women are just expected to kind of shut down their dreams and be at home. How was that for you? Did you get any resistance growing up? Maybe even from your relatives, people around you, they'd be like, hey, Quinter, you're doing too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In terms of kicking off to explore my career or wanting to put me in a box?
Both of them.
So, yeah, society always puts people in a box. I mean, that happens to, I think, most of the women out there. And someone said, I read somewhere that the two most important things that you really want to do as a woman is, number one, to make the decision of responsibly being responsible for the life that you choose. And two, being very careful, being very informed about your thoughts. Those two things guide a lot about how you're going to do things, because then your thoughts helps you. How do you react? How do you respond to things? And these things, we never know them at the time when they're happening to us.
Right.
Because I remember for me, when I told my mom that, you know, Mom, I think I'm going to be in the creative space. And she's like, what do you mean creative space? You're in the engineering space. You're studying to be an engineer.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. It's not fulfilling enough for me. And she's like, what do you think is going to be fulfilling for you enough?
Right.
And then my dad at the time, like I told you, I was called to do static engineering. And it was not my choice to go and do geospatial engineering. It was my dad's choice to go and do geospatial engineering. He's like, my girl, I would want to have an engineer in my family as someone who takes after me.
It happens a lot.
Yeah, it happens a lot. So I tell my mom. So I remember being in this space. I'm like, how am I going to tell my folks that I'm interested
to do creative work.
I'm decided in being in the creative space and actually just being in charge of my art. At the time when I was just exploring it, you know, at the time, because I'm still in school and I want to use my holidays to explore it. And I think I love it because there's a sense of purpose it's giving me. So I think, generally society does put women in a box. And then also when it comes to leadership, your leadership style, they love, people always say, oh, we are leading with emotions, oh, we are too much, or please go out there and be too much. Be too much.
Be too much.
Be too much. Go out there, be too much. Lead with your emotions. Lead with your intuition.
There's nothing
Trust
wrong with
me.
that.
There's nothing wrong with that. And I think I've learned the hard way to tell myself that there's nothing wrong with that. The only thing that I feel was not wrong with me, but the only thing that I felt was wrong at the time was how I was sort of also controlling thoughts of my thoughts. And like they say, the setting of up here can always change anytime. So I got to a point where I was always like, okay, I'm going to make this decision. What is the other person going to think? How is this going to make them feel?
How will they look at it?
Yes, I got to the position where I was just like, I'm going to just let people be who they want to be, and I'm going to lead with what I feel is right for me. So I feel like society always puts us in a box, but again, when you break away from that, it gives you freedom to go after what you want. Today, I've been on a trajectory where there are times when I really want to shift and fit into those rooms that I feel like need me to sort of change who I am back then. But what I came to find out is that whenever I walked into those rooms being someone else, those people didn't get a chance to fully experience me. Yeah. So then why hold back? I'm now on all the international platforms I'm in just because I kept walking in rooms as the person I am without fitting into the right person of the external person. So making sure that you just have that personal conversation with yourself is also very important. I think that is what also helped me. Because at the end of the day, they always say, you will do it, they will judge you. You don't do it, they will judge you. So why not just do it and let them judge you either way?
Either way, they will judge you.
Yeah, either way, people will judge you. Either way, people will have opinions.
Yeah.
And so I think you get to a point where you just got to put people's opinion aside and then just go out there. Because one thing you need to know, every single one has an opinion, and everyone has their fears. Every single one of us, every single person has some fear they're dealing with. And once you make peace with the fact that, look, 10 minutes from now, the person who is listening this conversation, after this conversation, they will not think about who is Quinter. They will think about what did Chika say. They will not think about who is Chika. They will be thinking, what did I say that sort of changed their life? What did I say that sort of spoke to them? They won't be thinking about, so what Chika is doing. What is Chika doing now? What is, nobody cares. And when you make peace with that fact that, trust me, people have so much going on with their lives that they literally have zero time. They have a minute or a second or two to worry, to comment, to say, and they move on. True. So once you make peace with that fact, bro, you'll be free to just explore life to the fullest potential.
To the fullest.
Yeah, and a lot
like
of things
that.
will open up to embrace that version,
embrace that.
that real version of you. Yeah.
Exactly. The real version of you. I want to talk about, you are also just not building businesses, but you're not also just a tech company founder. You're also a mom.
Yeah.
Yes. How has
my
your motherhood
God.
journey been? Because we just see how you are so bold out here. You're making moves and everything.
Yeah.
But there is you also, Chika, as a mom.
Yeah. So there's that part. I think having someone you're responsible for.
Has given you more zeal to go.
Yeah. Honestly, whenever you're out there and you're like, I'm doing this not just for me.
Yeah.
I'm doing it for the people that I care more about. I care most about, the people that I love, the people that are dear to me. Honestly, that, and it gives you clarity of knowing also where you want to be. How do I, and also just a sense of what's my legacy going to be from now. Your legacy doesn't have to be something so ambiguous, so big. No, your legacy has to be something so small. Like from the moment I walked into this studio, how did your producer feel about me? Such small things. How do people feel when your presence is in the room? How do you make life one moment better or one moment worse? So I feel like
so powerful.
yeah. So for me, life has been about just being a mom to a beautiful son. Is just, I think it gives you that
fulfillment.
Of just wanting to be the right, the way they always say we all sort of shell into something else wherever we walk into. Because again, before you walk into and sort of read the room, you always wanna, okay, so who is on the other side? And but then when you get to this point of being where you're like, this has been me, this had been my journey, and this is my kid, this is the person I'm doing for, this is my mom, this is the person I love the most, this is my partner, this is the person I want to do this with. There's a sense of, you come back home, you get that sense of support, you go out there, you're still feeling that sense of support. And so I think it gives you a different kind of support system that you wouldn't get out there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I want to ask something very raw, because definitely you've experienced challenges. So what is the hardest part of being a mom and balancing your business and the dreams that you have?
Kids want attention.
Oh yeah.
You really want to figure out, but again, I wouldn't say it's really a challenge. I would just say, how do you as an individual try to balance it out? They say life is not, it can't be, you can't have work-life balance. Me, that one I forgot that I can have ever. I
remember we were having that debate with someone.
It's that particular debate. I don't know. The women who feel there's work-life balance, but I don't think there's work-life balance, because again, tomorrow you're waking up today. There's always something you have to deal with tomorrow.
Right.
There's always your kid that needs attention. There's always your baby that needs to be dropped to school. There's an interview you're supposed to go to. So one way or another, life, you have to find your way to fit into those things that are happening. Right. So as much as I think it's challenging to say, the people that say, I think for me, I've mastered it in the way that I think I can. So I know when I'm supposed to be working, and I know when I'm supposed to be spending time with my son, and I know the time that I'm supposed to ask him, hey, I'm now working. I'll come and check on you later. Some boundaries, so that he also knows that when people are working, there's also time for work. There's also time for play. There's time for learning new stuff. There's time for the tablet, things like that. So I think, you just have to, you learn as it
create
comes.
That balance.
Yeah, you create that balance for yourself, but there can never be a work-life
balance.
You create that life balance for yourself.
So does your child know what you're doing? Do they know mommy is building empires?
No, anytime I travel and we are having calls, anytime he's always like, what are you doing? Yeah. I'm like, so mommy is looking for money so that mommy can take you to America. He's like, wow, mommy is going to take me to America. I'm like, so he probably knows going to America costs a lot of money, I think. And now we're going to cancel that America part, because Africa has so much to offer. Africa has so much to offer. And because you're building for Africa, next time I'm going to tell him, I'm building so that I can take you to Africa, and I'll see what his reaction will be.
I like that.
And I can see what his reaction will be. But I think I think he knows.
Yeah.
You know,
Catches on.
when both parents step out of the house and they're going to hustle to build a life for the kid knows, like, today mommy is going for work. Mommy is gonna come at this time. He knows even when to watch the door. He knows the timing. So yeah, he knows.
Kids are very smart.
Yeah, kids are very smart nowadays,
Right.
and I think they do know. Yeah,
And you're doing amazing. I see you spend a lot of time with them. At least you try to create that time of, at least your child needs to have. At least, I don't know how you separate your day.
Yeah,
but
and when let me tell you something interesting. Whenever like you see when I speak at these big conferences, these ones that I get called outside for, anytime I come back home, so I'm trying to watch myself. It's like, hey, mommy, check. Like, and then he's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Then he sits
Like,
and he
"That's
listens. I'm
mommy."
like, what is running on his mind? I'm like, I think he knows what I do. It's probably talk to people.
Yeah.
I don't know whether he knows it's just to talk to people or also build
Yeah.
amazing stuff. But yeah, it's really beautiful. I swear it's beautiful to see.
It's a beautiful journey.
It's a beautiful, beautiful journey. Yeah. You also look forward to it. You just look forward to coming back home and sharing how it was, some gifts, and so it's amazing.
Some cuddles. Yeah. Okay, amazing. And congratulations on your motherhood journey.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Many more babies coming.
Maybe.
Cooking? Okay.
Yeah, maybe. It's an
Let's get the
amazing
money
journey.
first.
And yeah, let's get the money first.
Okay, good. So talking about the money, I want to talk about your new baby. That is Chargebyte.
Yes.
Guys, don't get idea. Chargebyte.
Yeah.
So I remember when we were meeting, we met at What Women Want
What Women
Summit.
Want, yeah.
Shout out to you, Pinky Galani. She does
Yes.
amazing stuff for women.
She does.
So you had started this, I think you were working with this company that does a lot of around power banks. I don't even want to get to it because I don't know the technicalities of it.
Yeah.
But how is that journey? How has that journey been for you?
I think that journey for me has been a self-realization journey, to be honest. It has taken me back to identify with what was my root? Why? You know, when you're building, you ask yourself, who is it for? Yeah, who is it for? And who is it for and what are they going to use it for? Something like that. So I asked myself, when I started off building stuff back in high school, I was always building them for people. Businesses are for people. How do people feel after using your product? How do people feel after using your services? And I would say that whole experience made me realize, when I was building that particular business at the time, the things that I learned that are now helping me build the baby that I'm building right now, that is Chargebyte. And it's actually after that business that I've grown tremendously. I'm working with companies that I would only see online. And I remember, I don't know if you know Bozomo. I love that woman. I love her so much. So she says something like, when it's time to pivot, get the fuck out and pivot.
Period. Respectfully.
Respectfully. When it's time to pivot, honestly, when a workspace is not giving you that mental headspace to efficiently work and build, please just get out. No, they always say, don't get out, like just get out like that. Have a plan of a get out plan, a quit plan. You don't want to wake up tomorrow and just quit. You know, the research says that if I was building something while I'm working, the chances of it succeeding are higher than me quitting and going to build it, because then I'll not give that project economical pressure. You understand? So for us women, what we need to do more, we need more plans. We need less people telling us, wake up tomorrow, quit and go build something else. No, you don't want to give that economical pressure to yourself and to your business that you're building. Right. But again, it's a self-discussion thing that you want to have with yourself. That's one thing that taught me. That also taught me, you really need to learn people you're getting in business with. And you wake up tomorrow, you need a co-founder, you need a CEO. And another thing they always say, hire character, train for talent. Bro, do that thing, that one right there, because I have the smallest team in the world today, the smallest team I've ever worked with the right resources. I could wake up today and hire more people, probably 10 people tomorrow. but I don't want to do that because of my previous experience. I'd rather I have character in my team right now. I would confidently say that I have character in my team right now. I know things will get done, whether I'm gone for hours, whether I'm available. And that led to me building systems. Systems, putting in that work to build systems and automating things is something I took my time in doing. And that is the thing that now you find that you lay foundations. And women, we need our own blueprints. And I think another thing, just to touch on that blueprint and women supporting each other. This is just not about women supporting each other. Don't just mention my name in a positive way when I'm within the room. When I'm out of the room, what are you saying about me? I've realized, and for me, I've always been correcting women, and women around me know this, that I always ask someone. If I don't ask you, I will say out loud if you talked ill of someone else when they were not in the room and now they're in the room, you're talking positively about them. I'll just say it out loud.
Call it out.
I'll call it out. I say, you recently said this person did this. Why are you saying that right now? Come on, just
be real.
Yeah, be real. Because I've had an experience of during the previous business, one of the things that really sabotaged the relationships that I had already built was that there are people that are just out there to get you. There are people that are just out there to get your position. There are people that are just out there. They're honestly, not for lack of a better word, they're humans and then they're animal humans. And I don't know, for lack of a better word. And I'm not trying to be like angry or something. It's something I've made peace with and I've put it behind me because, again, I've grown. Like I said, I've grown crazily to amounts it didn't occur to me that I would grow this much. Because I remember being very depressed of the whole situation at the time when it was all happening to me. I kept asking myself, why is this happening to me? Until I was like, why is this happening? Not like, why is this happening to me?
Not to you.
Why is this happening? Yeah. This is happening to teach me that there are structures that need to be in place. This is happening to teach me that you need to hire the right people. You need to hire for character. You need to have the right people within your team. This is happening because I need to have the right accountants. I need to have the right lawyers who are preparing my documents. And I need to also do my due diligence. Because in my journey, the person I trusted, who was my lawyer, I'm paying them a lot of money to just get one document right. Instead, they're going to hire someone else to do it, and they end up in the whole process, a fake document ends up being produced, and this fake documents leads to what?
Yeah.
Legal issues that are very endless, that can't even help me or help them.
Yeah,
and because I was a responsible one, yes, and I was responsible for this role. So these things have taught me, and we fail, bro. We fail on our processes. Sometimes you fail right on your face. You're asking yourself, so why didn't I really not just sit down and go onto eCitizen and check
the validity of this document?
Why do I need to trust my lawyer? Because you have some trust in someone like your lawyer. You have some level of trust for someone to be your representative.
But that's what scorned you.
Yeah. But again, we learn the hard way. So I think for me, I would say that taught me you need to learn the people you're working with, have the right systems, hire for character, train for talent. And you can always make mistakes as a leader. Just how do you respond from them? How do you learn through that process? And how do you ensure you don't repeat them? You repeat them again. And when a workspace is not mentally stable for you, work on a quit plan and quit. Yeah, and build something. There's always something better to build. And especially if you've mastered. If you've built before, people have bought into it. You can build again.
You have the capabilities.
Yes, right. If you've built, people have bought into it. You've literally generated revenue. You can build again. So that's what I told myself. Yeah, I can build again, and I can actually now build better.
At what point did you realize there was like a shift of mindsets between you and your co-founders? Was there like red flags that you just
flags always existed though.
Yeah.
From the onset.
We ignore them.
Sometimes we ignore red flags until it's too late. So I think from my experience, which is something I'm really trying to avoid nowadays, especially when my intuition feels some type of way about you. I hold on, then I start asking people around me, hey, how do you feel about this person? Yeah, so it's just a challenge when someone catches a whim of, are you asking questions about me? It's a challenge, but again, you just answer, look, I'm just doing my due diligence. So it occurs to you when you ignore the red flags, which we do. The red flags are always there, right there. Because you're hearing things, you're seeing things, you're experiencing things yourself.
Exactly.
Like nowadays I sit down and I'm reading those messages we used to send to each other. Like when I was away. So I went away for a while just to go and make peace with what was happening to me. So I was reading through our messages. I remember the last conversation, the two called me. It was just shouting. They're shouting. I'm shouting. I'm like, this is not even
This is toxic.
This is toxic. So I would listen to all that. I'm like,
wow.
This is just not right. This is just not right. And then it's just not right. And then when you also see the way business is being done, and like I said, some people are out there just to get you. Someone will not just do their job for you to
fail.
Then for you to fail, or for you to sabotage you somehow. So this happens a lot to people, and I think one of the things that we really need to do is, whenever your intuition speaks to you, a lot of times, especially our intuition, women,
listen
it's
to
very
it.
strong.
Right.
It's usually very, very strong. So when it speaks to us, let's just try and listen.
A lot of times business separation is caused by a lot of money triggers. Money is usually, even in relationships,
money is always the
money
issue.
is usually among the biggest issues.
Yeah.
So how can you set systems around that? Like in terms of even ownership, how do you just control that?
So for me, actually, that previous experience, because it was a money issue and a relationship issue, there was more relationship developed between me and the investors, which was, I think, not sitting well with these other people. But regardless, what that experience taught me is that I need to have the right documents in place. Because then I know I need my founder employees to have SOPs in place, I know I know what a director founder document are supposed to be in place, board advisory documentation.
Aware.
I'm now more aware. And then again, one thing that taught me is, you see, we have so much talent in Kenya that sometimes we think. So I hired the right talent. When you have the right talent, you need to give the right talent ownership within the company. When you do, these people now know that they are building. This is their life. This is their thing. Now they build a project that is their own. Right. So when you're building with people, give them a sense of ownership within the projects you're building. And trust me, they'll build it with their whole heart and soul.
I like that. And I have a very question that would probably hit home. Like, how should early stage founders, what do they need to understand about investor planning, alignment, before even signing anything? We are quick to sign. We're like, hey, show me the dollars.
Pesa imekuja.
Where do I sign? Come here, you've sold your soul.
Yeah. All money is not good money. Joy, I will tell you that last year August, I turned down 625,000 USD from someone.
Wow.
Yes. And conversations were done. We had met with their lawyer twice. Conversations were done, negotiations were done. Then this guy comes to me and they're like, you know what, Quinter? You need 500,000. I'm gonna give you 500K. I'm gonna add you 125,000 on top, but I need full rights of refusal.
Oh, what
for
does
the
that
following
mean?
Markets. Now that means that I cannot explore other markets without their approval. What if I walked out of that table tomorrow and I got $1 million offer?
You're stuck with
for
your
just one market. And I'm telling you, this guy is closing me off for 6 markets, 6 good African markets for 625,000.
And how long was the contract?
What do you mean?
Supposed to be how long?
Also,
do they...
that period for the closure of those
markets.
So I had requested for so the red flag. This is how the red flag came in, and since I had already learned to follow my to listen to the red flags, so we countered. Yeah, the first he said he wants the 5 markets, so we countered with you know what, we're gonna give you access to these 3 markets, the top 3 giant markets. I'm talking about SA, Nigeria, and Kenya. So we're gonna give you access to these rights to these 3 markets, but it's gonna be only 30 days. So after 30 days, if you don't give me an offer when I'm going into these markets, then I can now go and talk to another investor. This dude said no. I said, you know what, bro? Keep your money.
Yeah.
Thank you. I can There's also the thing they call the power of but. But and and. I learned this. There's a power of but and and. So whenever you're using but and and, know those two things are very different. So I go to my investor advisor and we go through this program and I ask this guy, So this guy is teaching us about and but. And then he says, based on your most recent entrepreneurial experience, write one statement about and but.
Wow.
And then share with me. Read those two statements and share with me how you feel. So I write down, I recently got an investor who offered 625,000, but I turned him down because he needed full rights of refusal for the following markets. Then he told me, rewrite that same statement with and instead. Remove but and write and. So I figure out, how do I write this? I'm figuring out. Then eventually he tells me, Quinter, you can write this thing as simple as this. I recently got an investor who offered me 625,000 USD and I can still get another investor.
Oh my goodness.
Just a simple thing.
What a brilliant way of looking at that.
Exactly. And I can still get another investor. And I can still get another investor. So I went to that investor and I remember calling my team because my team was like, we are not broke anymore. We got money, we got good runway.
Yeah.
And I'm going to my team. I'm like, guys, I'm sorry. The good news I gave you guys recently, I'm going to come back with you guys to bad news.
Yeah.
Which means we're going to be still broke for a while. It was a very tough conversation with my team members.
Yeah, and no one could understand. They're like, what do you mean?
What do you mean you're turning down 625,000? And just like that, I turned down 625,000. And Joy, do you know what happens next? I'm in partnership with Giga. I'm in partnership with UNICEF.
Wow.
I'm talking to people like
Other
500
doors
global. All doors, other doors opened. I'm building. I'm telling you, Joy, as we speak, anybody who is offering this kind of service in Kenya, if China was to experience an apocalypse today, their business is shut. But Chargebyte, we will be standing tall and running.
Wow.
Because while I was building the previous, I learned a lot. I learned. So you guys fully depend on an external country. Our data has to bounce in an external country for it to come back to Kenya. If you were to go to that particular, any competitor, analyze the market, see any competitor, go to their station, your data bounces fast. The bouncing first point is China before it comes back to Kenya.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So first it bounces to Safaricom, then it bounces to China, then it comes back again. And that is the dependency that I didn't want to build on.
So how have you built Chargebyte outside
So right
that
from the
dependency?
start, yes, I'm like, you guys are fully depending on China. I'm not going to depend on that. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get all those China machines and I'm going to bring them to this country. Once they're here, we're going to dismantle, we're going to study them. And then I ended up deploying these units to different people. So I send one unit to Barcelona for someone else to study. I send another unit to Korea for someone to study. I send another unit to Kenyan teams to study, look into this thing. And in that process, I actually also lost a lot of money, by the way, when I was building the first prototype. Another woman, and I don't know why women keep letting me down. But I will still never stop giving them a chance. I'll still love working with women. In fact, one of our guidelines in the company is that we're employing more women in the STEM space. That's one of our goals. Our goal is, I'm telling you, 3 years from now, we're going to have an end-to-end production center of Chargebyte stations in an African country. If not Kenya, then it's Rwanda. And that's what we're working towards with our partners, that is Chika. So we've built it differently, trust me. And you're going to have a full experience when we're doing our launch, which is scheduled for this year. Yes, our launch is scheduled for this year. We're working with 1st of July, but we'll see. Because we want these machines that we are talking about from Korea, Spain, and all this to come into the country so that people can have a feel. With this, we have full control. Wow. No matter if someone woke up tomorrow and closed all the servers in China, Chargebyte is still running. We will be at your door and we'll be serving the right people. Also, we are not focusing in the city. In the city, we have sufficient supply of electricity.
So you're focusing on
Yes, we are going to the areas, the vulnerable areas that really genuinely need this solution. And that's why we are working with partners like Giga. Close a partnership that's going to deploy so many units because Giga, one of their major goals is to connect as many institutions, schools as possible. So they are financing these stations. And our goal is to make sure that our stations are also built with high-speed Wi-Fi, super high-speed Wi-Fi, inbuilt, serving over 300 to 1,000 people at a go.
What?
Yes.
That has happened.
Yes, this has happened. This is a prototype that has successfully been tested.
Really?
Yes. So I'm telling you, we have so much ahead of us. And that's why when I'm looking at the competition, I'm least worried about the competition. Because I'm thinking global.
Something unique.
Africa market, we only move like 5%, I think, less than 5% of goods that are locally produced, locally manufactured. So assuming, and we have very good talent. You sit down with Kenyan environmentalists, you sit down with Kenyan mechanical engineers,
We have
and they tell you
talent.
the only things we don't need is we don't have is infrastructure. And if someone is able to fund this infrastructure, which we have amazing partners who are funding these infrastructures, why not build?
What is stopping us?
What is stopping us? So why not build? That's the only thing. I asked my partners at the 500 Global, why not build? Why not build? So now we are putting resources together to build.
Wow.
And this means when we build, we are targeting the whole of African market. And Africa experiences over 9 outages in a week. Exactly, in a week. Most African countries experience 9 outages in a week. So you can imagine how much time they lose without accessing digital services. That's why we're building the stations. And ours are also hybrid. So now we are externally powering them with hybrid model, of course. But now the models that are going to be during the launch are going to be internally powering themselves with those clean energy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, there's so much goodness that is coming out of Chargebyte.
Yeah, it's coming. So much is coming out of Chargebyte because Chargebyte is not an African product anymore.
Yes.
It's a global
It is
product.
a global
Yeah.
product.
And
we're so excited to see the amazing things that you do with it.
Yeah.
I remember we were talking on phone and you just mentioned how you want to give that impact, not just events and all that.
Yeah.
You want to get there. So I'm really wishing you amazing on this.
Yeah,
And
thank
we're looking
you.
forward to this launch. Please, we need to get invites and come and see these amazing things.
I will invite you guys.
Yeah.
Definitely. I'm going to invite you guys.
Amazing. And I think we're almost at the top of the hour, if not at the toppest of the hour. But Quinter and I can go on and on and on.
Yeah, we can.
But you are doing amazing things as a woman in STEM, especially. I think so many people in Africa will benefit so much
many.
for this.
So many. Actually,
Yes.
it's even with the Giga UNICEF partnership. Because so
Amazing.
UNICEF funds ITU. ITU is the people that funds the connectivity and powering access in Africa. And so those are the people that we're working with. They're actually the ones that funded us to get into Rwanda.
Wow.
Yeah.
So in Kenya, Rwanda, and
So now we're in Kenya, Rwanda.
Kenya and Rwanda.
Yes, but we are going to SA, I think, by end of this quarter. This is quarter 1. By end of quarter 2, we should be in SA.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You are doing phenomenal things.
Yeah.
So we're still easing into the year.
You're still listening into the year. We started working while we were sleeping. But there's so much.
That is amazing.
I think there's so much talent in Africa that
Opportunity
we need
as
to
well.
really build up on. Yeah.
And congratulations on all the great projects that you're working on just to elevate people, It's very important that our infrastructure is improved in Africa because I feel like we have limitless potential here. We do. So thank you so much, Quinter.
Yeah,
what is your last word? If they could carry something out of this, what would you want them to just pick up from this conversation? I know we've learned a lot. Success is not linear as well.
Yeah.
It's layered with a lot of lessons, resilience, reinvention, and that's what you've been doing. So tell us, what is something you'd want them to carry with you?
So I was just checking my notes. 2 things. Gratitude and the way that you see the world, honestly. I was in a very bad place some time back then. And the one thing that changed my mind, I think it was something I read from a boxer. So I do a lot of fitness, you know this. Yeah. So he said, gratitude is something that is very interesting. It's a way of rewiring your brain that is very, very interesting. And I'm going to connect that to another point. And that point is the way that you see the world determines the world that you see. So those 2 things. So gratitude first. If I wake up today morning and today, I'm already looking at the gratitude. So I came, there's something I saw on, I think on Jay Shetty, and he was doing something about something called gratitude jar. Or something called gratitude day, or just being grateful for what. So you wake up and identify, what are you grateful for today, in a day? Like, if I wake up today, what am I grateful for? So when I go to bed, by end of day, when I have this notebook of mine, and I'm asking myself, so what am I grateful for today? I'm grateful for having a successful session with Joy. I'm grateful for having not knocked my car while I was parking. I'm grateful for
and it's a little thing.
It's a little thing. It's a very, very little thing.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for. So that keeps your mind very active. And tomorrow you're gonna be busy looking for another thing to go and write on your book, what to be grateful for. And the more you think of the things that you want to be grateful for, then the world starts offering you the things to be grateful for. Because then you're reducing the chances of thinking of the negative things. And that gets me to the point of the way you see the world. So if I want to be more grateful to the world, it's the way that I will see the world. I will see the world as a positive place, a place that is giving, a place that is offering for me, a place that is opening doors for me.
Yeah.
But if I'm to see it the other way around, then that is exactly what I'll see. So gratitude and connect it to the way that you see the world determines the world that you see.
What a way to mic drop, actually. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Quinter.
Thank you so much, Joy, for having me.
You are amazing. You are a woman worth watching.
Yeah.
You are leading with heart, with zeal, with confidence, and we love that for you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Keep going for it. The sky is not even the limit. Yeah.
It ain't. It ain't the limit.
Yeah. And to everyone who's been watching us till this point, I hope you learned a lot from our guest today. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and tell a friend to tell a friend, because we have enjoyed this conversation. I have enjoyed this conversation. I've learned a lot about business. So this year we have to be successful. So go for it. Do not stop. Don't let anyone limit you.
Absolutely.
I have been your host, Joy Meadow, with our guests, Chika, Quinter Ochieng, CEO and founder of Chargebyte. And until we meet again.
Until we meet again.
Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.